Our second case is case 14-5V, Zone R1. The property at 138 North Lancaster Street, and Jam Partnership appellants requesting a variance from ACC 23-1001, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls, to allow an addition to a structure resulting in a side yard setback of 2 feet where 5 feet or 10% of the width of the lot is the required minimum. Question for the code is that we had this case in November, and they received a variance for 0 front setback, where 25 was requested, and they got the variance with a vote of 3-2. And by the way, the front setback is mentioned 1 foot 10 inches in the new application. So.
Yes, Mr. Mitchell was here a few months ago and received the variance to build a front porch on the house to have 0 front yard setback. After further research that we obtained from the Engineering Public Works of the survey that was done for the improvement of Columbus Road and Lancaster, there, North Lancaster, we found that he actually set back approximately 8 foot from the front setback, and therefore he could have built the patio out 8 foot, but he built it out 6 feet, I believe it was, so approximately 2 foot back, but he still needed a variance for that. But in the process of building the front porch, he did a little wraparound on the one side to accommodate, I believe, his trash and air conditioning units, and did not have that part of it in his application when he originally submitted, and therefore now he has a side yard setback issue as well. So that was not discussed at the original variance granting, so that's what he's here to ask for this evening.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions for the zoning board, for the code office? Okay. Mr. Mitchell, you may come to the podium. Please state your name, your address.
My name is John Mitchell. I live in Amesville. My name is John Mitchell. I live in Amesville. I have property in Athens. I have these pictures I'd like to people look at if you'd like to.
Sure.
To the members of the board, recently you granted Jam Partnership a variance to allow a front porch to be added to our house at 138 North Lancaster. We are grateful for that decision. During construction of the porch, a large sunk hole developed from the settling of the, when we had to have the foundation dug up. So while we were building the porch, we were trying to decide how to deal with that issue. So we decided we could improve the property with the addition of a side porch to hold the air conditioning unit by wrapping around the house to support the unit. It also provides cover for the trash cans, keeping them dry, making them less visible from the street, and making things more sanitary in general. The porch also keeps mud from splashing up onto the siding, and the overhang shades the front and right sides of the house from the afternoon sun, lowering energy costs. If the completion is allowed, the new porch will improve the looks and functionality of the house. It's now my understanding that by going around the corner, the porch is too close to the property line of 134. As we also own this property, we didn't think that the porch would cause a problem. We plan on keeping these properties, but if we should decide to sell them at a future date, we don't feel the closeness of the side porch to the other property would cause any concern to any buyer. As an example, please look at picture number 1 and notice the house of our neighbor at 132. This house has a breezeway which is currently attached to our garage at 134 Lancaster. The breezeway has been located there for many years. It was there when we bought the property in 2003 and was not a concern for us at that time. So far, this breezeway has not caused any problem for us. My brother and I have lived our own property in this neighborhood for 35 years, and we feel that a new porch is an attractive addition to the neighborhood. We have worked very hard trying to improve the appearance of the area. Thanks to other friends and neighbors like Jack Stauffer, Judy Jones, Alan Irwin, who have improved the appearances of their properties, things have begun to turn around, and I don't believe the neighborhood has ever looked any better. See pictures 2, 3, and 4. Number 4 is our rental house at 8 2nd Street. It was purchased in 1997, and anyone would agree it looks much better than it ever has. We have been trying to improve our properties for our tenants and neighbors, and they are quite pleased with the changes we've made. Unfortunately, some neighbors aren't as concerned with the appearance of their properties as in pictures 5 and 6. The house at 138 Lancaster Street has been empty for almost a year. During this time, we've completed over $8,500 in foundation work. The bathroom has been gutted and replaced at a cost of over $6,000. The porch is costing almost $5,000. It will take a long time to recover these investments, but the appearance and functionality of our properties is important to us. Next year, we plan on putting a new kitchen in it. Even though the porch is not finished and is pending your approval, we've received positive comments about the work that we've done on the property, as well as the general appearance of the neighborhood. The house at Lancaster Street was scheduled to have vinyl siding at 134 this year, but so excuse the neglected look of it, but the money allocated for that project was used to repair the foundation. Next year, we will do that project. The West End has always struggled and has been considered a poor side of town. It's been declining for years and turning into an area with many dilapidated student rentals. My brothers and I grew up in this neighborhood, living on Shaver Street and Riverview Drive since 1953. My whole family is born and raised in Athens, and we care a lot about what happens to this neighborhood. Last year, the city improved Columbus Road, and it looks great now. The improved area leads directly into the neighborhood. People should get a good first impression of Athens when they come by this route. We all want this area to look good, and I'm sure you do too. It would be a shame if we are forced to remove an aesthetically pleasing and functional porch at 138 Lancaster Street. It would also be a very heavy financial burden to have it removed now, and it would be extremely discouraging to people who have worked very hard to make it nice. The removal would leave the house with unsightly scars where the siding was cut for flashing. Our carpenter has moved on to other jobs and won't be available anytime soon. It's not about making more money. We could get the same amount of rent if the porch were not there at all. We just think it's a very positive improvement, makes the neighborhood nicer, and it's worth keeping. We understand that one of the functions of the board is to grant variances where warranted. We believe this is warranted. And we have the support of several of the permanent residents living in the area. We have yet to meet anyone who doesn't like it or doesn't think it should be allowed. This is a good opportunity for common sense and the code book to come together, and we hope you'll allow this variance. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Mitchell?
Yeah, Mr. Mitchell, because you were at the Board of Zoning Appeals recently to discuss your previous variance, you are aware that there are code regulations regarding side and front setbacks. I'm assuming that. Plus, you've been in the business. Obviously, you have several rentals around the area, so you're very aware of this. Why did you not think to include this when you made your original variance request?
I don't know. We just needed a front porch, and when we got building it, we saw where it was all sunk, and we have to deal with it one way or another because there's so much water pours in there. And
But I thought that was the point of the gutters on your original. I mean, that's why you wanted the full front porch, so that you could have put rain gutters on there to eliminate the water runoff.
Well, you just can't foresee everything, and when we were building it, we thought, what are we going to do with this? We've got all these trash cans and air conditioners that sit here. It's all crooked, it's sunk in, water's laying in it from the winter. So while we were building it, we thought it was a good idea.
Even though it was in violation of the code. I mean, did you have a A
Well, we
building
thought we
permit
would-
for that side of the porch?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, so you're total violation here, right?
Yeah, well, that's
Two
why we're
biggies.
back here
I mean,
again.
you know where the code office is, it's just right down the hill from the property,
Well,
right?
let's just go with whatever is proposed here.
Okay.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, the problem was with the rain coming down.
Correct.
And
Yeah, we got a lot of
I
water
guess at the
problems.
time, at least me, I was wondering whether the rain would also be affecting the side. And I don't know if it did or not.
It does, yes.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
um,
That's why we're trying to deal with that issue.
yeah, okay. Any questions? Any other questions? Well, we may call you back again. Is there anyone in here who wants to speak in favor of this? No? Or in general or opposition? So we don't have anyone. Any final words that you want to say before we close the floor for
Thank you.
discussion? Okay, you may be seated. Discussions and motion.
I don't think I was here for that other one.
You are?
No.
It was November.
Yeah. I must have been traveling.
So you missed the meeting. in
I
November.
missed a meeting. You want the,
I need a motion
You want
or
the
a
motion?
discussion.
does anyone want to, should we do the motion before we discuss?
Yeah, that's fine, either way.
Okay, I'll do the motion. I move that we grant a variance at 138 North Lancaster Street, case 1405V. The appellant requesting a variance from ACC 2310, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls, to allow an addition to a structure resulting in a side yard setback of 2 feet, where 5 feet, or 10% of the width of the lot, is the minimum required.
A second.
I'll just discuss, I voted in favor of the variance last time, and had this particular request been part of that, I would have voted as well. We're talking a 3-foot difference between the 2 feet and the 5 feet, and in my mind, that's entirely acceptable.
Okay, and we should be looking at it as though as this was the original request, so. Okay, I'm not gonna read all the, we have read twice already, exceptional circumstances. Is there any exceptional circumstances to this piece of property that,
Well, no, I don't see any exceptional circumstances. They have a very nice front porch,
Yeah.
and all the utilities were sitting off to the side. I mean, you
Right.
could have just put up a lot of people in the area have just those little screens in front of them. Now they're sitting on the porch, and they're all in plain view, right? So,
Okay.
rather than camouflage them, you've just actually accentuated their appearance.
practical difficulty and undue hardship?
Well, I think there was also the exceptional circumstance of water drainage problems, and that this helps alleviate those.
Yeah, when I inspected it today, I think on the side also probably it would have affected. So maybe that canopy is going to help. Preservation of equal property rights.
We've seen many porches
In the
in
neighborhood, yeah.
similar nearby old homes.
Is this a minimum variance?
Well, it only allows 2 feet between the two property structures. If you look at that picture,
Yeah.
you can see how close that is. I mean,
And they also own the other one. They own it.
yes, except that they're separate properties,
Yeah,
and we
that's-
can't base it on the
Right.
fact that one owner owns both. That's,
And absence of detriment.
No one's here to complain, no detriment.
Okay. Not of a general nature. No. Okay, let me go to the legal. We start with you, Kay,
Yes?
and Lisa,
Yes.
Ms. Hollow?
Why wasn't this on the first thing, for heaven's sake? I'm not going to ask him to tear it off. It actually looks quite nice, but it is just dumb to, I don't remember what I said the first time.
you said yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Joan?
yes, and I'm saying no because I think they violated the integrity of the board by
going ahead and doing this without permission when they were fully aware.
And I will vote yes as well, so you have the variance 41.
Thank you very much. I didn't mean to insult the integrity. We just made a quick decision, and thank you.
Okay, thank you. And the last case is case 1406T, property at 960 East Estate Street. Mr. Brian Christman, appellant. Appellant is requesting a temporary use permit from section 230805C to allow a parking lot without paving it where the requirement is for it to be paved. And I believe we have to go to section 230702D, talk about I guess we have to kind of justify to ourselves that this has a temporary nature.
Give you a heads up, a little history here. Mr. Christman came in about 4 or 5 years ago requesting the same variance that the board did give it to him. Within the year, before the year variance, he relocated to Nelsonville. The property is owned by Certified Oil Company, and they, or Mr. Christman, sublet it out to another dealership. We were pursuing getting this done, making sure that they followed through. Weren't getting a lot of response out of Certified. I am going to get that information off you, by the way. I want to know who your contact is there because I am going to talk to them. And then that party eventually left, and Mr. Christman, with the bypass in Nelsonville, found that the car lot wasn't doing so well up there and relocated back to this site here within the last few months, and we nailed him. And he's here basically requesting for the same variance that he had 5 years ago, to give him a year to establish himself and then pave the lot. And he can speak to the rest of it from there.
You just mentioned variance, but you mean
Temporary, yes.
Temporary use.
Temporary
and that
use, I'm
first
sorry.
time doesn't count anymore, right?
That is
Because-
correct. It's been
okay.
greater than a year.
It's gone, okay.
And
Okay,
yes,
sir,
thank
would
you for
like-
correcting me. It is a temporary use, not a variance. Thank
Right,
you.
correct. And I also wanted to mention that you mentioned the temporary variance. It's not a temporary variance. It's just
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm Brian Christman, and 960 State Street is the property we're talking about. I wrote all this down. I'm obviously not as prepared as the people that come in with a $200 million project. I don't have attorneys and architects, and I didn't know we were supposed to wear great jackets. I could have handled that part, but
Less is better.
less is better. I was pretty nervous. But, the gist of it is that up until 2008, I was operating 3 aren't supposed to do, and it was in 2009. I said before I got this variance, I didn't know what the next 4 months was going to be for me because the car business is going into some real tough economic times, and I had the facts from the BMV on the registrations of vehicles sold. And I think if you just look at this community since 2008, we've lost at least 4 dealerships inside this county, 2 of them inside of the city of Athens. Southeast Imports was the biggest. I fought through it, but I prepared for it even though I was not occupying 960 East State Street. I leased that property from the day I moved out of there until I moved back in this October. The bypass opened in October the 1st, and that's when I moved in. The group that was in there before me, I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. They had contacted me several times about leasing that because I have the lease on it with Certified Oil Company, and I was kind of reluctant to do it. But, let's face it, I was spending thousands of dollars a year on an empty lot, and I could recuperate some of that money, and they could deal with the issues that they need to deal with here. And so I give them a 90-day notice in July to be out at the end of September, and I move back in. Okay. Now that brings us to where we're at today. I have been in meetings with Certified Oil today. Nick Locklick, which is the grandson of the founder of Certified Oil, is in from Boston. He is now in Columbus. And I don't know how much I can tell you about their business, but they are downsizing. They own over 900 properties, and they're only operating 80 some gas stations, and that's their business. That's what they do. He's a head of development, and he's going to sell some properties. And I assume he's going to use it to maybe build more gas stations on some of the properties that he doesn't sell. Athens is going to be for sale, but it's not at this point. Only to me, only I get first chance at buying. Now, how can I say I can't afford to pave that lot, but I can afford to buy the property? The difference is they're financing it for me. I've been a tenant of them for 8 years. I paid them over $50,000 in that time period. They respect what I'm doing, and I can't speak for everybody involved in this. There's been other companies that have tried to buy the property around it, and I was kind of wondering if perhaps they were trying to block me from buying it, but I found out today that's not the case. I was given sometimes been between 9 and 12 months today. There's other issues with the Environmental Protection Agency with the land. They say it's clean now. It's been stamped, no further action required. That's the stamp they put on that property. It's just a matter of getting things ready. But in the meantime, I'm like starting a new business. I mean, Hocking River Motor Company I was in Nelsonville for 18 years, and I did very well there. And the reason why I left Athens the first time was because I had 11 years of clientele there that I didn't have in Athens. I started at a tough time. I did pretty well for a while, but then, the economy went really bad. And at this point, I can't put, the hardship on myself to spend $35,000 to $50,000 to pave that lot when in 9 months, that lot may be sold to another big box store with the property around it. If I get into a bidding war with them, obviously I have the first right to purchase. That doesn't mean that they may say that we'll give you $40,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 more if you sell it to us, and which will force the price up. There's a lot of things that have to be worked out. Anyone that knows me, I recognize a few of you on the board. I don't know you well, but I operate a clean business. I'm A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. I still maintain a small garage in Gloucester where we repair the cars and customer cars. But I'm asking for the variance, at least at this point, until I either own the property or at least for 1 year. My intentions are to buy the property, and I will comply with the pavement. I don't want to work on a gravel lot, although it's not bad. I keep it nice, as well as you can. And, I think I keep it fairly clean down there. So that's what I'm asking you to do.
Well, Mr. Cressman, as you probably heard in the earlier cases, we do not consider, unfortunately, the financial hardship, but we'd like to get some indication that maybe within a year or so, you plan to pave this place?
When I own the property,
okay,
and that's the plan.
That's the
I have
plan,
to
okay.
own the property. Otherwise,
Sure, yeah.
any money spent would be. It'd be like the city paving their parking lot on the county on the county land that they don't own. Nobody wants to spend that kind of money on leased property.
So what are the
Questions?
What are the conditions we have to look at?
Any questions for Mr. Cressman? I'm reading this right now. Yeah. Basically, it says in here, standards, the BCA may permit the temporary use of structures or premises in any zone for a purpose that does not conform to the regulations prescribed elsewhere in the zoning. And it comes down to number, provided that the BZA finds such use to be of a temporary nature, not to involve the erection of a substantial structure, and to be unlikely to cause substantial detriment to the public, any such temporary certificate shall be granted subject to such conditions as will safeguard the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare.
This is my first temporary use case. Do you usually put a specific time limit on it?
1 year.
1 year, okay.
1 year.
Or less,
Or less?
up to 1 year.
Up to 1 year.
Up to 1 year, okay.
And of course, if they want to continue, they need to get a permission from the planning commission for additional 1 year.
Recommendation from the planning commission to come back to the zoning
Right.
board.
Up to a maximum
you.
of 36 months, 3 years.
Thank you.
You understood that
Yeah,
extension? Okay,
I
good.
understand that.
Okay, any questions?
No.
We don't have anyone to speak in the opposition or anything else? Yes.
Well, I was just suggesting, as a form of going through the findings, even though we're not going through the 6 findings, to just go through this and, for instance, the first thing that BZA finds such use to be of a temporary nature.
That's what
And then that's
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not to be involved in the erection of a substantial structure. I would guess that, if there are objections, anybody says, no, this is going to cause one of those, then to speak
yeah,
up. But
yeah.
I'd say of a temporary nature. Does anybody think that this will not be of a temporary nature?
No.
Okay. Not to get involved in the erection of a substantial structure.
Right, absolutely.
So of course, they have to come to you for that, right?
Well, hopefully not
Yeah.
for substantial. Okay. And to be unlikely to cause substantial detriment to the public.
No.
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 Okay. Any such temporary certificate shall be granted subject to such conditions as will safeguard the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare. So what I would say is if there's anybody who thinks it will, speak up, but if not,
Right.
I hate to go through the findings.
No, there's
for
no
you,
findings.
but
I just mentioned those 3 items, yeah. I was there today, but I can't remember now. Was a portion of the front was paved? There was a part of it.
Well, the city, I believe, did that.
Oh,
when
okay.
They expanded East State
East
Street.
State Street.
So if the car's coming and going, those stones will not be splashed on the...
No, they do
Okay.
not. I mean, if you were in there, you can't go 2 or 3 miles
Yeah,
an hour. That's what
right.
a car lot's designed.
It's possible that was paved once before. I don't know.
It was.
You may know. I mean, and I think it's gravel since they removed the tanks.
Yeah.
Right. They had to take
It
out.
was. There's still some pavement under that gravel.
Okay.
It has a very solid base.
The operation
I
next
did,
door.
I did notice that there was quite a bit of gravel on the sidewalk right below that cement apron coming down from the top of the lot. So, I mean, I don't know if you have somebody there, maybe they could,
I have a guy that cuts the grass and sweeps that off. I don't, it may have from that bad storm the other night.
Right.
There's a concrete pillar that's been in the ground there forever, and it's it's kind of deteriorating. And that could be what that was. I don't.
no, it was like gravel that had drifted down. Either,
Off of the-
when people drive,
Oh.
the lip of that.
I go out there, you'll see me washing cars and pushing a broom. I mean, I do that. I've swept that up, a couple of times when I see that it's doing that. I mean,
Right.
it's nothing that happens every day. It just depends on the amount of traffic.
Right, that's what I assumed. I
Right.
just thought I'd mention it, but otherwise, yeah, because that big
I'm
lip is there,
aware,
that's helpful.
yeah, I know where you're talking about, and I'm aware of it, and I do, when I catch it, I sweep it back up into where it belongs, and it doesn't happen often.
Okay, thank you, sir. You may be
Okay,
seated.
thanks.
Based on what Mr. Eschenbacher said, and we are ready to vote.
Did we have a motion?
No, we need a
Oh,
motion.
okay, motion.
I
don't be-
move that the board consider granting a temporary use permit in case 1406T Zone B3, 960 East State Street, Brian Chrisman appellant, from Section 230805C to allow a parking lot without paving it where the requirement is for it to be paved.
I'll second.
On that note, let's just start with you, Ms. Krainansky,
Yes.
Ms. Towsley,
Yes?
Ms. Carson,
Yes.
Ms. Hollow,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. So you have your
Oh,
temporary
Dolzy?
use permit.
Mr. Golsey, as part of the motion, could you give a time?
Yes, for
All right.
no longer than 12 months.
No longer than 12, okay.
That was good.
Okay, we are in the last part of the business, the position of minutes from April 2014, April 18th probably.
Yeah, I move that we approve
Thanks
the
a lot,
minutes.
appreciate it.
Good night.
Yeah, Don, thanks.
You move?
I moved
Oh, you moved?
that we approve the minutes.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Okay,
When you get a chance, give me a buzz.
and I guess we are done. Motion to adjourn?
Just adjourn us.
Everything done.